All right, hello everybody. We are live. Micah Fights with Friends here. I have Billy on the line. We have some trivia. It looks like we have a little bit of lag on the stream. I'm not sure why, but everybody should be in here soon. All right, if you were over on Facebook, and I think that was only 7, like pretty much 7, and a couple other friends that aren't usually in the Fights of Friends, you'll know the answer to the first 3. So that's credit for being in there early.
Oh boy.
Oh, careful. Oh, I was going to say, careful on the music. Get me in trouble.
I was trying to time it, but my computer froze. I got it though.
All right. I didn't
It was
give
actually,
anybody any warning. I was coming over here except for 7, who probably was like, man, they're taking forever.
I'll post it on Facebook real quick.
Okay. Oh yeah, let everybody know it went over to YouTube. We can just talk some MMA in the meantime, though. As people are coming in, it's good practice. So I just seen that today that Junior Dos Santos and Francis Ngannou got moved to ESPN. That's pretty awesome, actually.
I agree. What's up, RS?
RS in the house. How's it going? Just waiting for a few more people coming in here, RS. We were on Facebook, and then it's the first time I went live on there, so we're having some difficulties, so we came over here.
All right, I posted it on our Facebook group.
PFL on Thursday. Live on Thursday. So 2 days, starting at 4:30 p.m. Pacific. Of course, Ray Cooper looked good last week. What's up? 7 is here. Ray Cooper beat up his cousin last week. Yeah, I have a public service announcement for everyone too. If you have teenage kids or you're like a teenager around that age, or you're just doing this, stop. Stop. Don't get offended. Billy's like, this is where Mike's going to get in trouble here. But I heard about a thing today that people are dating people online in excess of 7 years without ever meeting face to face. That's not dating, guys. What's that, Billy?
That's the catfish show. People never meeting each other but dating online.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can imagine when they actually go to meet him, I think of like Napoleon Dynamite.
Eat your food, Tina.
Yeah. God, I love that movie.
Oh, that's amazing.
I don't even have to ask because I know everybody in the Fights with Friends has good taste, so they've seen Napoleon Dynamite. All right, I'm gonna throw one out here, just for people that were aware. You maybe get 1,000 points. 7 is gonna have an advantage. What's up, First Last? How's it going? 7's going to have a little bit of advantage because he was on Facebook before it got cut. So these first questions, they're not super hard, but he actually already answered 2 of them once. So this is going to be a speed test. I might mix them up on him, though.
If you're not first, you're last. One of you guys know that.
All right, first question. What's up, Michael Pauly in the house? How's it going? And I'll have to announce further out next time that I'm going to do something on Facebook. I didn't give people anywhere near the announcements. The Facebook, I was not able to get Billy in. We weren't able to figure it out. And I think you were one of the only ones that was left in there. Nobody else from the regular trivia was in there yet. So I'll give everybody more of an advance next time. But we're definitely going to be doing more Facebook stuff, and I'm going to be doing live watch parties Like I'm going to pull out all the old Valley Tudo videos that I have that the UFC hasn't bought the rights to yet. Watch all those.
We're also going to watch the first couple seasons of Teen Mom, so be ready.
I have not seen that yet, so no spoilers. All right, first question out here. Most fans are in agreement. I would say this is a little bit cool. That's fun stuff. Most fans are in agreement. This city had the worst MMA judging thus far in the ESPN era, and maybe the worst MMA judging in modern UFC history.
City and state.
Yeah, what was it? Yeah, we're looking. Yeah. If you get the city, I give it to you. Wichita. I was just going to say if you get the city. Michael Pauly got it. Wichita, 1,000 points for Michael.
Michael is on the board. What's up, Quincy? Canada's not a bad guess.
We're not in Kansas anymore.
On the board. When you guys jump in here, just go ahead and say what's up so we know you guys are here when you join today.
I can see the watching going up too, but yeah. What's going on, Ruiz?
First question to Michael Pauly.
Yes, all right. Billy, you want to ask a question?
Sure. All right, I'll give the quick 5-second refresh countdown. Go ahead and hit that. What's the F button for a refresh?
F5.
Yeah, go ahead and hit F5 real fast.
If you're watching on PC.
My question is from the World Series of Fighting. This fighter with one arm fought he fought Justin Gaethje for the World Series of Fighting 155 title. This fighter with one arm didn't even need to finish it.
Scott's got it. Yep. What's up, Scott? Scott with 1,000 points on the board.
Newell also got a fight with Dana White's Contender Series, but he lost that fight.
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed in that. That was the most viewership by far on this show. I think
King of MMA, what's up? I saw the video you did with Dutch Guy, man.
All right, quick. Yeah, King of MMA growing. MMA newsroom growing. Support your independent MMA creators. And just independent YouTube creators. A lot of corporate shills, as some people would say, going out there and getting their, putting channels up, and they're owned by NBC or Fox or something like that. I'd rather support the smaller guys. But
Got my next question ready.
All right, go for it.
This one's a little out of bounds, but this former UFC fighter was indicted in the United Kingdom for the biggest bank heist in England's history.
That's a hard one. I remember hearing about this, but I don't even know their name offhand.
Who was the MMA fighter indicted in the biggest bank heist in England's history? It is Lee Murray, King of MMA.
King of MMA. I am impressed. We should have made that one worth a few more.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when I was saying it. That's a good one.
A few more thousand, yeah. Yeah, I've just made everything worth 1,000 because that's usually what I do. But in the future, when I have Billy here to remind me, the reason I started going to 1,000 for all the questions is because I forgot to tell people how many points each question was sometimes before I asked it. So
that's pretty good. He got Lee Murray that fast. He knows his stuff if he knows that name.
Yeah, he does. That's pretty awesome.
Supposedly Lee Murray got in a street fight with Tito Ortiz as well.
Did they say who won?
Lee Murray.
Really?
Yeah, he roughed up Tito bad. Supposedly this is back when him and Chuck were still friends and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, I think Chuck says they were never friends, but... What's up, Arcade Chaos in the house? All right, let me throw a trivia question out here. Now then, change pages. Here we go. This fighter, after a victory over Amanda Nunes, said she got hit so hard she needed CTE therapy. She talked about it on Joe Rogan Experience. She went to a facility that has therapy like CTE and PTSD therapy, usually for soldiers, some for athletes. Scott F. Zagano.
Wow.
7 right behind. Everybody knew that one. It's because I listen to Joe Rogan.
You got the tally board going right now?
I do.
Very good.
I'm putting them on. Oh, I got to get on the right thing here. So yeah, Scott F's got 1,000. King of MMA, or 2,000. Excuse me. King of MMA with 1,000, and Michael Pauly with 1,000. You have your phone real close to your keyboard or something?
It's the charger's wigging out. I'm trying to.
Okay. I was gonna say because I'm getting really bad feedback. Okay.
Yeah, no. I think I got it plugged in right now, though.
Cat 9 fractures. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's horrible. I really feel bad for her with the losing that last fight with the toe in the eye. What's up, Jean Dejun? And we can talk about some MMA. So much stuff has been going on, too, that you guys want to talk about. What do you think about Donald Cerrone and Tony Ferguson? Billy, just what's your gut feeling on who wins that fight?
Tony's probably the betting favorite, but my heart wants Donald to win. And Donald's been a changed man since his near-death experience. I think he's really focusing on a game plan finally instead of just going out there and winging it. And I think Tony Ferguson's had so much hardship in his life. I don't know how much focus on MMA he's had lately.
That's a very good point. That's kind of my thoughts. I mean, I really like both guys. I mean, if you're talking about like all-time favorite fighters, Donald Cerrone's way up there. But I really like Ferguson too. First Last with the $10 donation. Thank you very much, First Last.
You donate $10, you get 1,000 points.
You are awesome, First Last. Thank you so much.
So, Mike, I figure we'll go two questions. So ask another one when you're ready.
All right. Sounds good.
Because we're getting more and more people in here.
All right. This fighter recently won a championship. This is in UFC by knockout. Upon further review, a lot of pundits thought she tapped previously. There's videos of this all over the internet. Maybe you haven't seen them, but this is super current. Super current changing of the championship.
7. He got that in the other.
7's got it, Andrade. Yep.
7 finally defended one of his correct answers. Good job.
All right. 5 questions and 4 people on the board. That's a good start. All right. And then 2 from you, I think, but maybe a little bit of MMA news. You were just telling me a fight got changed. So they changed the card. You want to talk about that for a minute?
Yeah. Earlier it was announced on ESPN that the Junior Dos Santos Francis Ngannou fight has been moved from UFC 239 to the main event slot on UFC on ESPN on June 23rd. So that fight will now be free on Big ESPN. Dos Santos and Ngannou, which is going to be one hell of a slugfest, I believe.
Yeah, that always makes me really happy when they put it on free TV and everybody can watch it. Even though I get most of the pay-per-views anyways, I want you guys to be able to watch along. And it's just, I know it's a financial hardship. Everybody can't afford to buy every pay-per-view. Last pay-per-view was the first one that I hadn't bought in probably 2 years.
That's the first one I've skipped since, I believe, 2016.
Wow, longer for you then. That's
yeah,
crazy.
And a lot of it has to do with the change of format. If it was still available on Comcast and DirecTV, I think they're going to find out that they're losing a big chip because you can order those fights and pay later, but now you have no option to do that. And a lot of people ordered the pay-per-views that way.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. You want to? You got 2 questions. Why don't you throw a question out there, and then we'll get everybody's opinion. I'm curious what their thoughts are on this new pay-per-view and complications other people have had.
All right, guys. The next trivia question is: this longtime Pride champion, when he changed over to the UFC, did not find so much success, but his last fight in Pride was a controversial fight against Nick Diaz. Who is this fighter?
Excuse me.
It is not Lawler.
I know who this one is.
It is not Henderson. You guys
I'm pretty sure I know who it is.
are in the wrong weight class. You got to go down a weight class. He's a lightweight, 155er.
Yeah,
He's in
Sakuraba never fought in the UFC, I don't believe.
It is not Vanderlei. It's not Paul Daly. There it is, Scott F. Takanori Gomi. That is the correct
Scott
answer.
F, 3,000 points on the board, cleaning it up.
Good job. All right, guys, go ahead and hit that refresh button if you need to. I figure we'll do a speed test, and I'll throw a layup here and see who's got the fastest internet.
Muay Thai says Joe Rogan.
All right. This Pride legend, just like the last one, won his only UFC interim championship at the heavyweight division by defeating Tim the Maniac Sylvia. He is now a UFC Hall of Famer. Who is this fighter?
That is a great comment, by the way, first last.
It is not Coleman. It is not Bigfoot Silva. I'm thinking it's not Rico Rodriguez. He's a Pride legend and now a UFC Hall of Famer. His only UFC heavyweight championship win came against Tim Sylvia. Nogueira, there it is. Scott F.
A lot of fighters got their only big win over Tim Sylvia.
Yeah.
For those people that know who John Ruiz was as a heavyweight, I don't know if you know who he is. I think of...
Man.
Yeah, he was like the John Ruiz of MMA.
All right, Mike. You're up.
All right, I'm up. First, before we start, though, I just wanted to ask everybody just a quick thing. How many of you guys have had issues with the ESPN pay-per-view? Is anybody not ordering pay-per-views that used to order it before? Or has anybody started ordering pay-per-views for the first time or again as part of the ESPN Plus package? I'm just curious if it's getting better this next time, or because the first month was was absolutely horrible. Don't order no more. I've heard that so much. I watch Pirates, so it's all good, bro. But some people that used to pay for it before, CJ says Fire Stick. Yeah, I know. I've heard Fire Stick is getting very popular with a lot of people.
I don't know what that is.
It's Amazon makes it. It's similar to a Roku. It's basically their version of Roku with an absolute horrible interface, but it's also open source. So basically whatever you can do to a PC, I guess people have figured out to do with the Fire Stick. All right, go ahead and hit F5 and refresh, and I'm going to throw a couple more trivia questions out here.
Scott F is in the lead.
Yes, he is. All right. This one might be a speed test too. This one's on how many points is a first round knockout worth in PFL? Professional Fighters like just started. How many points is a first round knockout worth? Remember, they get points by winning and finishing fights. Quicker you finish it, the more points you get. It is not 100, it's not 5. Michael Pauly, there we go. Michael Pauly was 6. That is correct. You get 3 points for a win. Then you get an additional point. You get 4 points for a third round finish, 5 for a second, and then 6 for the first. And I'll be streaming PFL in 2 days on Thursday, actually 4:30 p.m. Pacific. So were you going to say something, Billy? I think I cut you off.
I was going to ask if you had any trivia questions that are from One Fighting Championship.
I don't tonight.
Okay.
I'm going to throw another quick one out here, though. This one, how long was the first round in Pride events? Pride FC, the first round, 4:30 my time, yes. How long was the first round in Pride events? Scott F. got it. 10 minutes, 7 right behind him.
That was a close one.
That was too easy for you guys.
It shows their knowledge, though, because if you didn't watch Pride, you would have no idea that they had a 10-minute first round.
Well, and a lot of people still wouldn't remember if they weren't the hardcores like the Fights with Friends.
That is true. All right, Scott F. Let's throw. That was 2 for you, right? So I'm up.
Yep, your turn.
All right, guys. Let's see if someone can catch Scott F. Who was the middleweight winner of the Ultimate Fighter Season 4 and won a contract title fight against Anderson Silva, but missed weight and was not able to fight for the belt? It was not Gegard.
That's a good question. I remember this.
It was not Patrick Cote. I believe Patrick Cote lost to this fighter in the finale of the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, I was just saying he was on that show.
And once this fighter missed weight, his career was really never the same after this fight against Anderson Silva. But he was the Ultimate Fighter Season 4 middleweight winner.
He had a pretty good showing in the fight as well. It was the same night that George St. Pierre defended his title.
Actually, it was not the same night.
Oh, did they do it 2 different nights?
Yeah, George St. Pierre got hurt, so his fight got pushed back.
Oh, I kind of remember that now. So it was the same season, but it wasn't the same night. No.
Not Chris Lieben, and it was not Nate the Great Marquardt.
Nate was season 5, though, I believe, so you're close.
Who was the Season 4 Ultimate Fighter middleweight champion? I guess this one should have been higher points. This one's just stumped some people. Someone should have had enough time to Google this.
Oh, there it is. First, last, got it.
First and last with the correct answer. Yeah, Travis Lutter actually missed weight, so the fight against Anderson Silva was a non-title fight. And I believe Anderson Silva submitted him, or either submitted him, or I think he won by ground and pound when Lutter went for submission.
Yeah, Lutter he actually fought pretty well, though. He put Silva, he was the first guy to really test Silva at all at the time. What's up, Comedic Genius?
And after that fight, Lutter took on Rich Franklin in his next fight and got destroyed by Rich Franklin. And pretty much that was the last we ever heard of him. All right, guys. The run to catch Scott F is still on, so go ahead and hit F5, refresh, and we'll get our next trivia question out there.
Well, you can still type when you're eating cherries, Michael.
All right, guys. Who did BJ Penn defeat to win the UFC Lightweight Championship of the World? Who did BJ Penn defeat to win the Lightweight Championship of the World?
Did he only win it once?
Yeah. He hit this guy with a flying knee, and then
Oh, I know who it is. Oh.
it was not Matt Hughes. BJ Penn beat Matt Hughes for the 170 title. There it is, first and last. It is the Muscle Shark, Sean Shirk. So first and last is making a run.
Oh, that's a good one. Actually, I didn't know that one. Actually, I was thinking Carlos Newton.
No, it was
I
Sean
would have been
Shirk.
wrong. All right.
And the baton is passed back to you, Mike.
All right. I like that we don't share our questions though, because then I can see if I know the answers too.
Right?
All right. Next question up. Go ahead and hit F5. Refresh your browsers.
Give a score update if you can.
Oh yeah, let's throw that up there real quick. We got Michael Polly has 2,000. Well, we'll start from 1,000. Let's see. 7 has 1,000. First, last, and Michael Polly both have 2,000. Sorry, Miss King of MMA also has 1,000. And then Scott F now has 4,000.
Wow.
So, competitive game.
All right, guys.
All right, here we go into some boxing. This fighter was the first ever black heavyweight champion in boxing. Who was the first ever black heavyweight champion? They didn't let him fight for a while, much like in other sports, but boxing came around before a lot of other sports did. Haterade 9, it is Johnson. You were right. Comedic Genius had it, even with the last name, Jack Johnson. Haterade was just before you. Just to let you know, you only need the last name.
Just like Jeopardy.
Yeah, that's why I do it like that, so I can blame it on Jeopardy.
It's
Haterade 9.
All right. Let's see who's going to make that run to beat Scott F tonight. That 1,000 for Haterade, is that his first one, right?
Yep, that's 1,000 for Haterade. Speaking of Jeopardy, have you seen this guy that's been destroying opponents recently? I've heard this guy's won for like a month straight.
Yeah, I guess it's the highest ratings ever for Jeopardy because of him.
I still haven't caught it. I still haven't watched the show. I'm gonna have to remember. I don't have a DVR anymore. Rafa Pena, Mike Tyson. You are correct. No. All right. Throw one more. I think I got one more out here. Let me throw it out here. This fighter, after losing his first fight in 10 years, one of the only fights he ever lost, moved to Italy to do movies. It was a controversial, very controversial fight. He retired from boxing and moved to Italy. It's fixed because Alex is on his way out. Haterade 9, that's 2 in a row. He must have just came in. He beat Scott on that one. You got some competition, Scott.
Haterade knows his boxing. That's what's going on here.
Yes. I need to make more boxing ones. I just have so much. Oh, I do. That's not the last boxing one I have, though. So there will be at least one more boxing one. But we'll hand the reins over to Billy.
All right, let's do a speed test. This is a boxing trivia question as well. This English boxing former champion, his nickname was the Hitman. This English boxing champion, his nickname was the Hitman. Scott F. got it. Ricky Hatton. David Gerald was right behind him.
Great fighter.
Scott F. with another 1,000. All right, guys, go ahead and hit that refresh button if you need to. It's F5. And our next trivia question will stay in the realm of boxing. These two brothers owned the heavyweight division for nearly 10 years as they held every single heavyweight title belt. Who were these two Ukrainian-born brothers that held the heavyweight title belts for nearly 10 years? Haterade has it. The Klitschko brothers. Correct, Haterade.
Oh, Haterade's coming on.
Yeah, that was a speed one. I knew people would get that, but I wanted to give a question that more people would have a shot at. All right. Back to you, Mike.
All right. So it's in there. Oh, that. By the way, talking about Marvelous Marvin Hagler, for those that don't know, there was rumors. A lot of people thought that he threw that fight. Of course, it was a very controversial decision against Sugar Ray Leonard. I thought he won the fight, and you go back, most people thought he won the fight, left town afterwards. The next two are actually boxing, though. First one, this might be a speed test. Who was the first fighter ever to defeat Canelo Alvarez? So current champion Canelo Alvarez. Who was the first fighter to defeat him?
Yeah, this one should be very easy.
It was a great fight, Hater. It was not Triple G. It is Mayweather. Haterade's got it right there.
Haterade is making his charge to win this trivia battle.
Yeah,
People forget that Mayweather and Canelo fought, actually.
Yeah, I was at Buffalo Wild Wings. Our Buffalo Wild Wings, the first one had just opened up by us like 2 weeks before that fight. And, I mean, there was people just standing like out to the parking lot. It was literally hundreds of people. It's pretty cool.
You said your next one is boxing as well?
Yep, I got another boxing one out here. It's another first fighter. Who was the first fighter to defeat Julio Cesar Chavez?
It is not Trinidad. Chris Jackson's got it.
Oh, where's it at?
Golden Boy?
Nope, that's not it.
It's not?
He wasn't the first one to defeat him, no. He lost before that. He almost lost another one. This is BS. Might give him my $10 back.
Is it Pernell Whitaker?
Sorry, first last. No, it was not.
Vargas?
Nope.
Arguello?
None of those. He was almost up to 100-0 too. People forget how great he was.
See, I would have guessed Oscar De La Hoya myself.
Yeah, Arguello, I don't think they ever fought. I think Arguello was just, I don't remember if they fought or not. I think he was just a little lighter. Oscar De La Hoya was the second fighter to defeat Chavez, though.
David
It wasn't
Gerard.
Macho Camacho. They fought as well, though.
Let's give it to the guy that's dead. I love that.
The guy that's dead. I would give more clues about this, but he's not actually that well-known a fighter. The only clue I can give, and it might not help, is he did avenge that loss later in his career.
Arturo Gatti.
This fighter actually was very good. He was 48-2 after he was good at the time. He was 48-2 going into that fight. This is worse than a Britney Spears CD. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Quincy, what's the question? All right, let me repeat the question. Who was the first fighter to defeat Julio Cesar Chavez? I think he was somewhere in like 90-some wins. Jim Morris, who was the first fighter to defeat Julio Cesar Chavez?
Stephen Brown.
It is not Mike Smith. Comedic Genius just looked for like the most American name ever.
Bob Ross.
The violent Bob Ross.
Supposedly Bob Ross's son's a really good painter too.
Yeah, he's got a show. My wife watches him. She watches all the old Bob Ross all the time too.
I
I'll
used to
watch it
watch.
a little bit, but
All right, Mike, you're gonna have to give him another clue.
I really don't have one. Unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to give you guys because I don't know much about this guy, so I know you guys probably don't either. Was
Wait,
this?
don't wait.
Oh, somebody got it?
No,
No.
let's give him one more minute. If you guys know how to use this thing we'll call Google, earn yourself 1,000 points and look up who defeated Julio Cesar Chavez. Randall,
Yep, that's it. Frankie Randall,
entertainment purposes only.
who got it entertainment purposes only. All right, and it was a split decision loss, and Julio Cesar Chavez avenged it in the very next fight.
Okay. All right, I think that's the first for entertainment purposes only. He is now I guess
Yes.
he or she is on the board. It's back to me, and I will. Whoever was saying go back to MMA, I will do that. Since we've had 6 straight in boxing, we will return to mixed martial arts, or as my mom calls it, just UFC. She doesn't understand that mixed martial arts is actually the name of the sport.
I know UFC.
All right, guys, hit F5 real fast. Refresh your browsers. That way you're ready to go. This stinks more than a Power Ranger helmet. Oh my god. All right.
Comedic wants curling questions.
Oh, where's curling invented? All right, guys. This former UFC legend, and I'm going to use that in quotes, is now a current Bellator fighter, and he defeated, I guess he's kind of currently in Bellator, but he fought in Golden Boy MMA and avenged his former best friend he lost twice to and knocked out this fighter, Chuck Liddell, who knocked Chuck Liddell out in Golden Boy MMA. And go, Haterade already got it.
Yep.
Tito Ortiz. Nice, easy question for you guys.
Yep.
So another 1,000 points for Haterade.
All right. All right, and you got one more. That was actually one of the most watched streams, believe it or not, that we've had was the Waddell versus Ortiz. Maybe that's because I was the only one that bought it.
Yeah, you might be right there. That's actually not a bad point. All right, guys, hit F5 again. Let's refresh. So let's all get ready to go. All right. Back in Pride Fighting Championship, who knocked out Vanderlei Silva with a vicious head kick in the Pride Openweight Grand Prix? Who defeated Vanderlei Silva with a head kick in the Pride Openweight Grand Prix? You know this one, right, Mike?
Yeah.
Comedic Genius.
Yep.
Mirko
Genius
Krokop.
got it.
All right, more and more people are getting on the board. I like it.
King of the head kick.
Yeah, I thought a head kick would definitely give it away.
And I'm actually, speaking of that, I'm actually going to give add another question to the ones that I'd already written, kind of pertaining to that. So when Mirko Krokop was coming to the UFC, they invested a ton of money in him. They put billboards out in New York. And in his very first fight, he was actually upset by a head kick knockout. From what fighter?
I got to chime in and say that was not his first fight, but it was his second fight.
Chris Jackson. Was Gonzaga. Who did he fight first?
Hold on. Gonzaga, Chris Jackson, you're right.
Yep, that is right.
For 1,000 points, I'm sorry I'm skipping you, but
Oh.
who was Mirko Krokop's first fight in the UFC? Who was Krokop's first fight in the UFC? This is going to be... If you remember this guy, that's awesome. In fact, this is a 2,000 point question.
Because I didn't even know it.
Who was Crow Cop's first fight in the UFC for 2,000 points? It was not Brandon Vera. It was not Crow Cop. Is who fought Crow Cop in his first
Crazy
fight?
horse.
That would have been awesome. It was not. I think he's trying to say Sokoju, but no.
Oh
I'll give you a
yeah. So could you?
This heavyweight fighter's nickname was Dirty. There it is, Quincy. Eddie Dirty Sanchez.
Really? Wow.
Yep,
I have absolutely no memory of that fight at all. You're sure it happened?
100%. So that's 2,000 points for Quincy.
Quincy got it. So, wow. I completely. I must have been in a time warp when that fight happened. 'Cause I have no
They
recollection.
night that Rampage debuted and fought Marvin Eastman.
And I remember
Damn it.
that fight. That's weird.
Yep.
Huh.
I used that one as a trivia question.
Yeah.
Good job, Quincy. You got 2,000 points for that. Good job. All right, Mike.
All
You're
right.
back up with a question.
Okay, in last season's PFL, which we will be streaming in 2 days on Thursday, like I said, in the finals, this man made it to the $1 million dance from the 8th seed. There's 8 guys in a bracket, so it's kind of like NCAA tournament. The bottom seed made it all the way to the finals in one of the weight classes. His nickname is the Cuddly Bear. Who is it? Not Junior.
PFL, whose nickname is the Cuddly Bear. What weight class was it?
I guess I can give out the weight class. It was a heavyweight. So he had to win 2 fights in a row. He actually beat the number 1 seed in the first fight of the night. Anybody who didn't watch the PFL finals last year, you really missed out. $61 million contracts. There it is. Josh Copeland.
Quincy's making a run.
Well, yeah, and that last one he got was a double, so.
Yep. All right, I'm ready for my next one.
All right. Shoot.
All right, guys, we all know Ken Shamrock went from MMA to pro wrestling, but during the same time, this former UFC legend and heavyweight fighter also went to pro wrestling and was also in the WWE during the time that Ken Shamrock was. Who is this fighter? Who went from MMA to pro wrestling in the late 90s besides Ken Shamrock? It is not Brock Lesnar, guys. It is not Steve Blackman. You know this one, right, Mike? There it is. Chris Jackson, Dan the Beast Severin. Chris Jackson with the correct answer.
Nice.
Good job, Chris. Actually, he was the only one to guess that, too. Very nice. All right, guys, go ahead and hit F5, refresh. The next one is coming up in 10 seconds. All right, guys, after Chuck Liddell defeated Randy Couture to win his first ever UFC championship, he successfully defended it against Jeremy Horn. In his next fight, he fought this Brazilian powerhouse and ended up winning by knockout. Who was the fighter he defeated? It was not Vitor. And it was not Vanderlei. Edson Barbosa would be fun.
There it is.
Babalu Sobral,
Chris
Chris
Jackson
Jackson
got it.
again.
Nice. Very underrated fighter. People forget about him.
I was a huge Babalu fan.
Couple
All
in
right,
a
Mike.
row there for Chris.
This is a pretty back and forth matchup here.
Yeah, it's going to take a minute to count all the points up at the end of this. This is going to be the 24th question.
You want to go to 30, 32-ish?
Unless there's a tie, yeah.
Okay. Because just the ones I've written down since we've been here, I have 6 questions written down still. I have 2 boxing and 4 MMA.
All right. Yeah, I was just going to go until I ran out of questions. I think you got
How
more
many
than
you got?
me. I'm getting close to running out. Back to boxing. I did a lot of boxing in PFL this one. So Deontay Wilder fought this last Saturday. We watched him fight. How in Deontay Wilder's professional career, how many times has he went the distance? How many times has his fight not ended in a knockout?
Gatorade.
It is not one.
What? Yeah.
It's
What?
not 3. No, it is not. Haterade 9's got it. It's 2. His
Wait.
first championship fight, he went the distance. It was a decision. And then against Tyson Fury, he went the distance and a draw.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I double-checked it on BoxRec before I put the question on there.
See, that one stumped me then because I thought just Fury was.
Yeah, if you want to double-check, type in Deontay Wilder BoxRec, and it gives everybody's records. That's what I use for...
Okay. I guess it's because of the. You get mixed up because the Fury fight was a draw. Okay. That's why. That's a good one.
I was hoping that might throw some people off.
Let's make the final 4 questions worth 2,000 points apiece.
All right, let's see. This one. Oh wait, actually. Oh yeah, I got one. This one's in the PFL. I'm just about out of questions though. This Hawaiian standout was favored to win $1 million last season in the PFL, but came up short in the finals. He is back again this year. I believe he's in middleweight. What's up, full time in the house?
I would repeat that.
All right, let's see if Full Time can get this. Rocking it with about 9,000 subscribers over at Full Time MMA. This Hawaiian standout was favored to win $1 million last season, but came up short in the finals. He is back again this year.
I think
There
entertainment.
it is. Was entertainment purposes only the first one to get it, I think. Yep.
Yep.
All right. Great job. Ray Cooper the third.
Entertainment purposes only.
He's got a few
All
of
right,
them
guys.
on the board.
We're going to go back to boxing for this next one. So like I say many times, go ahead and hit the refresh button. This legendary boxer defeated John the Quiet Man Ruiz for the heavyweight championship of the world. Who beat John Ruiz for the heavyweight title? There it is, Quincy.
Quincy, yep.
Roy Jones Jr. Quincy knows his boxing. All right, guys, and my final boxing trivia question of the trivia night, we're going to go back to the early 90s. After James Buster Douglas upset Mike Tyson in Tokyo to win the heavyweight title, in his first and only title defense, who defeated Buster Douglas to win the heavyweight title? Who beat Buster Douglas to win the heavyweight title? All right, mine's going crazy, but it's Evander Holyfield. Who got it first, Mike?
I see entertainment purposes only. What's up, Wyatt Matheson? How's it going? Wyatt in the house. Entertainment purposes was just before him.
Okay. So another 1,000 points for entertainment purposes only. So I'm down to 4 questions, Mike. All
All
MMA.
right.
I don't know if you're out of boxing questions or not. What's up, Wyatt?
Entertainment says 2,000 points. Yep, got 2,000 points out there. Yeah, I'm out of boxing questions. I'm out of like reporting like from a cave in the Andes. Oh, it is a little dark today. Yeah, you're right. I should have worn a brighter shirt. Make it come out a little bit. It is a little dark in here today, though. Sorry, my YouTube thing's going nuts too. My thing on here, so I want to make sure I'm on the chat correctly. These two fighters fought in Pride for over an hour and a half. I believe it was an hour and 36 minutes. If it's not the longest MMA match ever, I hope it was. And PFL, these two submission specialists fought for an hour and 36 minutes. Wow, entertainment purposes only. That is nuts. That submission that was fast.
Yeah.
That's worth 2,000 points. I'm sorry, I didn't call that out, but I don't think anybody's going to get mad about that one. I didn't expect anybody to get that one. Or at least not for a while.
Quincy had it too.
Nice. I believe it or not, I actually enjoyed that fight, and I watched the entire fight. I found it entertaining. First class, this is whack. Sorry.
Actually, my final 2 questions, I have 4 left, but my final 2 we talked about earlier, Mike, we're going to make them worth 3,000 points because they're the 2 I told you about earlier that are really hard.
Oh, some really hard ones. Okay. All right. When I got another boxing one next. Sorry, a lot of boxing tonight. Usually we're not heavy on boxing. Haterade says more boxing, and we have more boxing.
Nice.
And I'm going to make this worth 2,000 points again because I want both fighters. These two fighters fought for the heavyweight championship of the world in what you would call the first money fight because one fighter got $1 million. And I want to say this was like early 1900s.
Do you know the weight class by any chance?
Heavyweight championship.
Okay.
And there was a very controversial count because one fighter didn't get back to his corner. And the referee cannot stop counting until the fighter goes back to his corner. It was a rematch. And Mike Tyson says that it was not Lewis and Smelling, no. Oh, Quincy, you got one of them. If nobody gets the other, Quincy gets half of it. Yeah, Mike Tyson modeled his shoulder roll after watching Jack Dempsey. It was not Lewis and Dempsey. There's a guy a lot of people forget about. They basically only knew him because he kind of had Dempsey's number. He was a good boxer. I wasn't Carpenter and Dempsey, no.
Everyone knows to throw out at least Dempsey, though. Dempsey is half the answer. Braddock?
Nope, not Carpenter. It was not Braddock, no. No, not James Braddock. Dempsey Tunney. Quincy got it. Gene Tunney won the $1 million fight. Beat Jack Dempsey twice. Jack Dempsey was so mad after losing the first time. He said he wanted to punish Tunney and he refused to go back to his corner. And Tunney ended up coming back and defeating him again, and then I believe he retired after that $1 million purse.
All right, guys.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Back to MMA for my next question. Go ahead and hit refresh. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. After Diego Sanchez and the epic fight between Forrest Griffin and Stephan Bonner, what was the main event fight of the very first Ultimate Fighter finale? Who were the two fighters in the main event of the first Ultimate Fighter finale? What was the main event matchup of the first Ultimate Fighter finale? Main event of the card. I'm looking for the main event of the card. Not the Forrest Griffin fight or the Diego fight. Who were the two fighters in the main event of the evening? It was not Rampage and Liddell. It was not Liddell and Couture. They actually fought the week after. Who was the main event on the first Ultimate Fighter finale card? Tough Season 1 finale, main event. Who were the two fighters in the main event? And the fight took place at 205 pounds. There's your hint. It was a light heavyweight fight. One fighter went up in weight from middleweight to fight at light heavyweight, and the other is an MMA legend. You guys, Bisping was not in the Ultimate Fighter Season 1 finale. It was not Silva Lieben. I'll keep giving clues. One fighter is a UFC Hall of Famer, and the fighter that went up in weight to fight that night at 205 ended up going back to 185 and winning the championship at 185.
I think they're both Hall of Famers, aren't they?
I don't know if the 185 guy's in there yet. But obviously you know the answer then, right, Mike?
I'm pretty sure. I'm not positive.
What was the main event of the evening on the first Tough Enough season finale? There it is. Wyatt's got it.
Yep, Wyatt got it.
Rich Franklin. There you go. Didn't think that was going to stump that many people. I thought that was an easier one.
Yeah.
It was Ken Shamrock and Rich Franklin.
I was gonna say I better have watched that one. I'm old enough. I was watching it a lot. So.
All right, guys. Good old Google. Go ahead and hit the refresh button. And what people would say is one of the greatest slugfests of all time. Who fought Roger Huerta in this UFC epic fight? One of the greatest slugfests of all time was Roger Huerta versus blank. This epic slugfest was Roger Huerta versus this fighter. It was not Clay Guida. It was not Clay Guida. Do you know this one, Mike?
Repeat the question.
This epic UFC slugfest was Roger Huerta versus blank.
I don't. I can't think of a lot of his fights. I would have guessed some of the names that are in there already, though.
There it is. Quincy got it. Leonard Bad Boy Garcia.
Ah.
You guys remember that one, right?
Very underrated fighter. I don't know that I remember that fight particular, but I definitely remember Leonard Garcia.
Put him on the map. And Huerta was actually the better fighter, but Garcia just showed so much heart.
Well, Garcia was in WEC before that, though. I'm pretty sure.
I think he went to WC after, but maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
All right, back to you.
All right. A little bit of boxing and MMA together. In a boxing versus MMA match, modern MMA, somewhat modern MMA, Who was the first actual former boxing world champion that fought against a UFC fighter in a main event? So I forgot to tell people to refresh. There it is, Chris Jackson. It was James Toney. He got destroyed.
That was a good one. A lot of people were trimming him with that one.
People forget how good he is, too. He was, before he fought Roy Jones Jr., I think he was like 46-0, and there was pretty much no argument that he was the top pound-for-pound fighter on the planet. Yep, lights out. That shoulder roll.
All right, Mike, you're up again.
Great defense. All right. This former Ultimate Fighter from season 1 knocked out Vanderlei Silva in 9 seconds.
All right.
Contestant Ultimate Fighter knocked out Vanderlei Silva in 9 seconds. Yeah, White. He's got more than I do. Oh, there we go.
There's a new name.
Jemiah 79's got it. Lieben.
Add another name to the board. Jemiah on the board. The Crippler. All right, guys. Back to me. Just general MMA knowledge on fighters' locations. Name the city in Hawaii where BJ Penn is from. What city in Hawaii is BJ Penn from? Jemiah again, Hilo.
Yep. Nice. Couple in a row there.
Jemiah 79, the Hilo boy, as they would say.
All right. Are we? How many questions do you have left? You said you were gonna do. We were gonna do some.
I still have my other two, but I got one more easy one for everyone.
All right, and then we'll have some ones that are worth more points.
All right, guys. Who was the first UFC bantamweight champion of the world? Who was the first UFC 135-pound champion? You know this one, Mike?
I thought it was the same one everybody else is putting up. So no, I don't.
Oh, yeah. It's Bros. It is Dominic Cruz.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Wyatt had it first.
All right. I'll do my final two in a
that
row
one
then.
goes to Wyatt. Yep.
All right, guys. These last two questions are 3,000 points apiece. So you can make up 6,000 points in two questions. UFC legendary commentator Joe Rogan made his first appearance for the UFC in what city? I'll take the city or the state. Where did Joe Rogan make his first appearance in the UFC? 3,000 points for a reason, guys. It is not Atlanta. Like I said, I'll take the city or the state. Jemiah, Alabama.
Wow, 3,000 points.
Got it quicker than I thought. It was Dalton, Alabama, where Joe Rogan made his first appearance.
That might might give Jemiah the lead. I'm gonna have to count these up here at the end.
All right, guys. My final question tonight for 3,000 points. UFC President Dana White used to own and run a boxing gym and got ran out of it by the mob. In what city did he own his boxing gym? What city did Dana White own a boxing gym in?
Yep, somebody's got it right there. Ashley Ward.
Boston. 3,000 points for Ashley Ward. Everyone threw that one up. Guess that one's a little easier than I thought. All right, Mike, that's it for my questions. You are up to close the show. So 3,000 for Ashley Ward, and before that it was 3,000 for Jemiah. You got your last questions or no?
I got another one up here. I can always come up with more. But who was the first UFC fighter to win a tournament besides Royce Gracie? Royce Gracie was in the first, I believe, first 4 tournaments. Who was the first fighter to win a tournament that was not Royce Gracie? Not Coleman or Severn, no. Not Henderson. He's not a well-known fighter. He did fight in Valley Tudo later, though. Fought against Marco Huas, actually. He also, I believe, was the only fighter to ever lose a fight by tapping to having his head pushed into the cage. There it is. Wyatt, Steve Jenham times 3.
Good job, Wyatt. All right, so I'm guessing there will be one final question, Mike, after this.
All right. Google should be disabled. I know. I wish I could. I wish I could. Please, on these last ones, try not to Google until we get to the end. I appreciate it. For the ones that are worth 3,000, Wyatt's points are taken away. No, I'm just kidding. Because obviously I can't stop people from using Google, but and I had it in my head and now I just forgot it. So I might have to come up with something harder.
While you think of that, I'll throw out one final 1,000-point question that I had written down.
All right, there we go.
It's only worth 1,000 points. Go ahead and hit the refresh button real fast, guys. Who did Conor McGregor defeat in his UFC debut? Who did Conor McGregor defeat in his UFC debut? Ashley Ward. Marcus Brimage. 1,000 points for Ashley Ward.
All right.
Is that enough time for you to get your question?
Yeah. All right. All right. Who was the first UFC fighter to essentially end a fight with leg kicks? He kicked a fighter until he buckled and could not stand anymore. First UFC fighter to end a fight with leg kicks. Not Pedro, not Barbosa, not Rico, nope. It was like a 15-minute fight, and it was against over 300-pound guy. There it is. Seth Sullivan. What's up, Seth Sullivan in the house? Marco Huas. And Wyatt had him right after him. What's up, Harvey Weinstein? Harvey was just... Usually Harvey's really quick at grabbing those, but he was...
1,000 points for Mr.
right
Seth
behind.
Sullivan. Coming in late, 3,000.
All right. Let's add up.
Let's let Mike add them up, and let's get some general MMA discussion going on your guys' thoughts on the upcoming, I want to say, controversial fighter himself, John Jones' title defense against Mr. Santos. Do you guys give Santos any shot against John Jones, or do you see John Jones reigning supreme again? What are you guys' thoughts on the 205-pound championship bout? While Mike adds this up, let's talk about Johnny Jones and Thiago Santos.
I think
He's
Santos has as good a chance as anybody has in a while.
Says Sullivan says Santos loses by decision. Haterade says if Santos is aggressive. J Maya gives him 5% chance. Also on that card, we have Amanda Nunes and Holly Holm. Does anyone see Holly Holm upsetting Amanda Nunes? Anyone see that one happening?
I wouldn't bet on it, but I think anytime you have a fighter that's talking about retirement, you never know.
I'll take John as long as his pictogram's still pushing, I'm guessing. Branch finish Santos. Nunes win by round 3 KO. Holm wins by head kick. That would be... She knocked out Ronda with a head kick. Well, somewhat of a head kick. It was like a shin to the head, actually. Nunes KO her. Other than those two fights, what's the fight you guys are looking forward to the most that's coming up over the summer? What fight are you guys looking forward to that's anytime in the next, I'd say, 3 months? What's the fight that's on your mind? Throw it out there in the chat. Gustafson wrecking Smith. Ngannou dos Santos, yeah, that one is going to be awesome. Cowboy vs. Tony, yeah.
Hey, I apologize, but just for a second, does anybody remember who got Roy Jones Jr. over John Ruiz?
I'll look it up.
Okay, I'm going to keep on adding up the other ones, so
Wow, we might have to go way back to get this one. Dempsey.
Sorry about that. For some reason, I typed in Roy Jones Jr. instead of the name of the person who got it.
Quincy got it.
Okay.
I think. Hold on, let me make sure that was it. Because I see Jones. Yeah, Quincy got it.
Quincy's got a lot. There's several people that got quite a lot. Chris Jackson with quite a few. Scott with quite a few.
That was good. I think we should do an MMA trivia at least once a month like this. Where it's just trivia, not trivia and watching the fights.
Yeah, the long ones. I think so. I like doing them.
Just restock, because I could probably come up with at least another 100 questions. Because when we're watching the fights, we really only have time for like 10 trivia questions. But on like this, we can get like 30 to 40 questions out. Especially when we mix in boxing, and I can do kickboxing next time as well. Or even jiu-jitsu. We can throw some Eddie Bravo questions out there from the EBI fights. Really test some people's knowledge.
All right. Believe it or not, we have a tie.
So whoever's in the tie has to go the tiebreaker against each other.
Ashley Ward in the last, 4 questions, got 2 3-point questions to go up to 6 points and tied with Haterade 9 with the boxing for tonight. So Ashley Ward and Haterade 9, it is a tiebreaker.
All right, guys, it's 1-on-1. It's a showdown at the OK Corral.
Ashley says nightly. All right.
Mike, this is your show. You get the question.
Name all the fighters from UFC 1. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, get ready. Haterade 9 and Ashley Ward. This is you guys. 1-on-1. Get ready.
All right. This 40-year-old fighter has been talking about coming back to fight in one card in his hometown.
Say that again.
It's a big fighter. 40-year-old fighter has been talking about coming back for one fight in his hometown. Ashley Ward, it is Faber. And Ashley Ward wins. It is Uriah Faber talking about coming back and fighting in Sacramento. Very good, guys.
Ashley Ward, congratulations.
Yeah, there was a lot of people. Just to throw some more points out there, people who had quite a few. Jemiah, 79 times, had 5 points. Wyatt, that came in late, had 4 points. Quincy had 5. Chris Jackson had 4. So, entertainment purposes only had 5. Quite a few you guys with 5 on there. Scott had 5. I thought Scott was going to win it, and then he must have had something to do. I had to give people more time to plan this. No Google once again. If I could keep people from Googling, I would. But since I can't, everybody's going to use it.
Mad props to Ashley, but I still got to give props up to Haterade because you still finished right there neck and neck, man. So great job, guys. I mean, it was way more competitive than I thought it would be. A lot more people got questions right. I think this turned out to be a great success, and it was really fun, man. I enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you, Billy, for helping out. Thank you, guys, everybody. And we are actually starting a new season. And I decided we're starting 12 weeks of MMA trivia. I didn't say it before, but Ashley Ward won the first week. The winner at the end will get a trophy. I was just talking to Billy. Billy's disqualified from this one, though, but he's getting a trophy in the mail. So.
And just an FYI, guys, we are going to start using YouTube as well as Facebook. We're going to do some watch parties, and hopefully me and Mike can fine-tune and do possibly some MMA trivia over there on Facebook. So if you haven't yet, join the Fights with Friends Facebook group at facebook.com. Just search Fights with Friends. It's an open group at the moment, but once we know the majority of us are in there, it will be turned to private to keep trolls out there. So once again, join the Facebook group, Fights with Friends, if you like what Mike and everyone does here at this channel. Mike, Wyatt, Dutch Guy, the whole crew. Michael Pauly. It's a family organization.
Yeah, let me put the link up real quick so you guys can just easily link it. We were going to start this out on Facebook tonight, but then we decided to go to YouTube because we were having some difficulties figuring it out. So, and quite a few guys have joined it lately, and thank you to the 4 new subscribers. I don't have your names in front of me right now, but thank you very much. Appreciate it. Quite a few guys have joined.
Do you tag on Facebook, Mike?
All right, there is. Yeah, I'm good with people tagging on Facebook. Sometimes I do. Yep, there's a link to the Facebook there. All right, over 40 people have joined, and it's just been a couple weeks. So thank you, Ashley Ward. I'm also over on Twitter at FightsWFriends. If you want to talk MMA over there too. 100 and some of you guys are following me over there now. So that's growing pretty quick. Thank you very much to Michael Pauly, who's pretty much grown that himself.
If you guys want to send me a request on Twitter, my Twitter handle is AKA411. Or look up Billy Hughes on Twitter, AKA411.
All right. First, last. Yeah, you have been here for years. A lot of you guys have been here for several years. All right. Thank you very much, guys. I'm going to get some sleep. Thanks for coming in and spending the evening with me on late notice.
See you guys next time.
All right. As always, I love you. I respect you. And I'll see your fine asses later.